Hi, this is Jeremy James with Some Good News Bluegrass. On this episode, we have a presidential address, coffee time, quarantine cuisine, pet parade, the weather, and a little segment we like to call joyriding. Stay tuned. We interrupt your social media news feed in order to bring you some late breaking news from the senior class presidents out of Fayette County.
We are the class of 2020.
The class with clear vision.
However, I don't think any of us saw this coming.
We're no longer known as the class with 2020 vision.
We're known as the class who didn't get to finish what they started.
No proms.
No pep rallies.
No graduation.
Nothing.
Well, this leads us to process something unimaginable.
Something that perfect vision just couldn't see.
It reminds us.
It reminds us.
It reminds us
that it's okay for something to not go our way.
It reminds us that there's always some kind of bump in the road.
And it's okay to be hurt.
But it's not okay to let this define us.
We are simply more than our mistakes.
Our messes, our problems, our past.
We are more than this.
We are not defined by the outcome of this outbreak.
The class of 2020 will not be defined by face masks and quarantine.
During the struggle, we all have to remember to rise.
Rise above the adversity.
Break that glass ceiling.
Just simply rise.
Don't let the past 12 years be defined by this.
We're going to come back stronger.
And the class of 2020 will no longer be known as the class that had everything taken away.
We will be known as the class that defeated all odds and rose above.
And the class with vision
will still remain.
We are the class of 2020.
Two months ago, amidst all the chaos around the world, residents of central Kentucky were shocked to awaken one morning to find that all their Starbucks had closed. In some good news, this past week, you could hear this.
Choosing Starbucks. This is Allison. We're going to get started for you.
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, thank you for choosing Starbucks. This is Allison. We're going to get started for you.
In other food-related news, here's your cooking correspondent, McKenna, with this week's Quarantine Cuisine. Thank you for that wonderful recipe, McKenna. I'll be looking forward to some of that when I get home. Around the world, dogs and cats have differed on their opinion of the COVID-19 crisis. The dogs were sure that everybody had quit their jobs in order to stay home with them. The cats were sure we all got fired. Here's a look at our quarantine fur babies. past several weeks of unprecedented chaos, many have equated our current events to the game Jumanji, including the weather, with freezing temperatures in May. Let's check with our weather correspondent, McKenna, who just happens to be pulling double duty this week. McKenna, how's the weather?
The weather looks, pretty good.
In tonight's Joyriding segment, we bring you some heartwarming inspiration about some amazing people doing some awesome work for some great kids. Hey guys, Jeremy James with Some Good News Bluegrass. I'm here today with Allison Maggard. She is the chapter president of Bluegrass Ambucs. Allison, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, phenomenal. It's a little rainy outside, but I think we'll do okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Bluegrass Ambucs. I just came across your Instagram stuff the other day and really intrigued about the work you guys are doing in Lexington in the Bluegrass.
Yeah, we are a local chapter of a national nonprofit, and our mission is to provide specially adapted bicycles to children with special needs. And we've been around about 5 years, and we've been able to give away over 100 bikes in that time, which is fantastic to children with special needs. And we're going to continue to keep going and give away as many bikes as we can.
So describe for me what an adaptive bicycle looks like.
Absolutely. So all of our bikes are trikes, so they have 3 wheels so that the child doesn't have to balance and does not have to have that skills. They're all very adjustable, and they just have different accessories that a traditional bike would not have. That might be a backrest, it might be a headrest, might be a push bar for the parent, or a different style brake so that the parent can brake for the child. And then most of our bikes, not all of them, but most of them are what's called fixed gear, which means if you were to push the bike, the pedals are going to rotate. So even if that child doesn't have enough strength to push it on their own, the parent can help push them for them, and then they're able to go without having to actually be able to make a full pedal rotation.
Nice. So they have that participation, but also the assistance there as well.
Yes, yeah, they can't make that. They maybe make half of it. The parent can help them go the full way.
That's phenomenal. Your parent organization, I guess, is American Business Clubs. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's what Ambucs stands for, is American Business Clubs. People ask that a lot.
Nice. All right. And that's a national nonprofit. You're a local chapter, serving all of Kentucky or Central Kentucky. What's kind of your range?
Yeah, we say that we serve Central Kentucky, but we're one of the only chapters kind of in this area. So we serve a lot of surrounding counties, and if a child does not have access to a bicycle, even if they're out of state, we will take that child if we're the closest chapter to them.
Great. So how does your process start? Do you just kind of go out through social media and grab kids, or, because that sounds terrible. So tell me a little bit about your referral process and stuff.
Absolutely. So sometimes those kids come to us because they do find us on social media. The parents will find us. But a lot of the times it comes from their therapist, either their occupational therapist or their physical therapist. Will say, hey, I think you'd really benefit from having a bicycle at home for recreation purposes or to build up strength in your legs and your arms. And that therapist will contact us and will request an evaluation either at our evaluation site, or sometimes that therapist has done a training with us so they feel comfortable measuring that child and knowing what they're going to need for that evaluation. And so a child can always go test drive a bike at Associates in Pediatric Therapy to make sure that that's the right style for them and the right size for them. And then after we know what bike style is going to fit them best and what model is going to fit them best, because we have arm bikes, we've got foot bikes, we've got hand and foot bikes, so the child can use every limb to help propel the bike. Then they go on our wish list, and if the family is unable to pay, then we help fundraise for them.
That is phenomenal. You said Associates in Pediatric Therapy. That's your evaluation site. Those are your partners for that?
Yeah. So they're an outpatient clinic that services children and for speech language pathology, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. And so we have some therapists there that are volunteers and have agreed to, evaluate children for free so that they don't have to pay a cost, even if they're not receiving services.
When you get the bikes, do they just get shipped into you, or how does that work?
Yeah, so when we buy the bikes, they come to us pretty much like a box bike. It's kind of like a Lego bike where we know what pieces and accessories we've purchased and we have to put them together. Okay. And so they ship to Broke Spoke Community Bike Shop on 6th Street, and we build them at that community bike shop there during kind of monthly bike builds. We'll build about 6 to 8 bikes with some bike builders that we have that are volunteers as well.
It sounds like you've got a larger community of volunteers that are all kind of participating with you as well.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of people who've either volunteered to come build bikes and they'll be a part of that team, or people who've agreed to help run tables whenever we need it at an event. So yeah, we have a good amount of people that have kind of come together to help support us.
That's awesome. I absolutely love that. And you said Broke Spoke Community Bike Shop?
Yeah, in Lexington on 6th Street, and it's actually kind of tucked away in what's considered the Bread Box community, but that's attached to West 6.
So obviously with everything shut down because of COVID and whatnot, the bike shops are all closed. So how have you been working things with everything going on the last several weeks?
Absolutely. Well, we are still trying to deliver bikes. We kind of lucked into the fact that 5 of our bikes shipped before a lot of things shut down.
Right.
And so we were able to get those bikes, and then we just gave them to the bike mechanics and they took them home. And a lot of them have materials at home to be able to build the bikes because they're into cycling, or they happen to have the necessary toolkit for whatever their job is. And so they built them in home. And we did kind of a virtual bike build where we showed everybody building the different bikes. And it was great.
Do the families come to you for pickup, or what have you all been doing with that as far as delivery?
Yeah, we typically will take the bike either to a delivery, before COVID, we would take it to a delivery spot and do kind of a giveaway if that child was able to do that. Right. But we've been doing home drop-offs. Gotcha. So we'll sanitize the bike, and then we'll kind of mask up and make sure that we just kind of put the bike in the driveway. We typically will fit the child. We'll have a therapist there, an occupational therapist, a physical therapist there to size the kid and make sure that that model fits them the best that they can so that they can be the most successful. But we've kind of just been coaching parents through that instead during this time, instead of actually moving the levers for them. So we'll show them how it's adjustable, but just to keep that social distance, we just kind of drop it off in the driveway and the kid will come out and say, yay! And then, we'll coach the parents.
The one little girl, she was so excited. Oh my gosh, I watched that video like 3 times.
I know. It's my favorite video so far, I think, because she's so excited.
Okay. Keep your eyes closed.
Oh my goodness! What is it? Oh my
goodness! I'm telling you, I've never been that excited over a bike.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. So with the age group of the kids that you all service, what range are you working with?
Yeah, so we have had some 3-year-olds up to the age of, we would serve up to age 21. I'm not sure, I need to think of what we had. I think an 18-year-old or 19-year-old, I think is probably the oldest one that we've done so far. But
so obviously it's not free. I know what our bikes cost. And so what are we talking about as far as how much the bikes cost you and then what we're doing to be able to recoup those costs?
Absolutely. So the bikes are a little bit more expensive than what a traditional bicycle with 2 wheels might cost. And so they're anywhere from $350 for a younger child, like a 3-year-old who is has a lot of strength and coordination, so maybe just needs a little bit of help, up to $1,000 for a child that may need a headrest or a basket for an oxygen tank or a push bar to be able to move. So about $350 to $1,000 is kind of the average range.
Right. And so you're a nonprofit, so you're really not selling stuff. So where are we getting the money for these bikes?
Yeah, we are always looking for community partners to be able to throw us fundraisers. Mm-hmm. And we have stickers at Bicycle Face that you can go trade us for a donation on our Venmo account. We always accept donations on our Venmo, which is at Bluegrass Ambucs, and it's got a little green bicycle so that you know that it's us. So we accept donations that way, and we do a lot of fundraisers, and we actually have some things coming up on May 12th for Kentucky Gives to hopefully be able to fundraise the rest of the $635 that will cost for Bridget's bicycle, which is little girl in Paris, Kentucky.
So, okay, so we've got Bridget in Paris. Do we have anybody else on like a list that we're raising money for or working for their bike?
Yes, we do. We have Ivor, and he is 8 years old from LaGrange, Kentucky. His bike's $793. And then we have another little boy named Tad from Richmond, Kentucky, and we're still waiting on his quote, but we're estimating it's about $800. So we're always looking for funding opportunities for any of those children.
And how much for Bridget's left?
Bridget, is $635, and we have a little bit over $100 raised so far.
Now, so when they contribute, can they target their contributions? Like if someone's in LaGrange and they said, we want to help out the child in LaGrange?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a lot of organizations who are, especially Kiwanis, local Kiwanis clubs that will say, we're the Kiwanis Club for Richmond and we're going to sponsor these kids in Richmond. So if someone wants to put money towards a certain city or they want a certain age range, we can kind of match that to the child, and they can let us know that on their check that they mail to us. We do have a PO box, and we also will, if someone wants to put that on the Venmo account, we'll make sure that goes to that child's funds, and then we say thank you for that, because we're always grateful for donations from individuals.
Phenomenal.
But if they want it to go to a specific child, if they just let us know, we'll make sure to put it in that child's account. So
you said Kentucky Gives. You're participating with Kentucky Gives with the larger fundraiser. What are the details on that? When's that going to be happening?
That'll be on May 12th, and it will be throughout the day. And so people can just check into our social media. We're going to be just making a lot of posts about opportunities for people to give, most likely through our Venmo account or to mail in a check, just to let them know, or just encourage them to sign up for their Amazon Smile account to be us, or for their Kroger Community Rewards account to be for us. So just different ways that people can partner with us and support us, and always looking for people to throw fundraisers and things like that. So we'll just be posting things throughout the day, and people can just stay tuned to our social media account to donate.
Well, Allison, I absolutely love what you're doing. I love the fact that you have a large network of other companies and doctors and everything who are participating with you. So let's see, I heard Broke Spoke Community Bike Shop, right?
Yep.
I also heard Bicycle Face in Lexington.
Yeah.
And then Associates in Pediatric Therapy in Lexington as well. Any other shout outs we need to give?
Yeah, probably the Broom Wagon and Pedal Power are two other bicycle shops that have very much supported us by either doing builds and can give you more information on, how to get involved with our organization.
Phenomenal. I absolutely love what you guys are doing. Really do.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you so much.
Allison, thank you. I'm just the guy in front of a camera. Thank you. You have been making some dreams come true and some really happy kids, and that just makes me happy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
Each week we've made it a habit to toast those who are doing great works here in the Bluegrass area of Kentucky. Allison and all the folks at Bluegrass Ambucs and all of your volunteers, here's to you. Cheers. I'm Jeremy James with Some Good News Bluegrass. Check us out on all the social media platforms. Share your good news with us, and we'll see you next week.